It's in theaters now, coming this summer.
Two brothers in a van, and they ran as fast as they could. But let's get back to the brothers because they have a strong bond. You don't want to know about it here, but I'll tell you one thing. Bet your bottom dollar that these two brothers know how to handle business. Two brothers and they're gonna. It's called Two Brothers. Two Brothers.
Without spoofing Rick and Morty too much, these guys, Ian and AJ, really have become my two brothers since I met them a few years ago. I don't see them often anymore, as we all go to different schools now, and when they came to town this week, my recovery from surgery quickly turned into something else entirely. They got here, we hatched an idea, and said,
You know what would be cool? What if we found the coolest places in Tulsa? Say like 24, just to throw out a number.
Say? That's a great idea.
And that's exactly what we did. We devised a quick bucket list of 24 interesting places to visit in Tulsa, Oklahoma, my hometown. Along the way, we would leave these marks of the Penguin Club, which is what we have long called our group of friends at home. The Penguin Club was back together for 5 days only, and we were determined to make that time count. In truth, much of the week was spent driving without direction, looking for places to be and things to do. We started simply, with the biggest buildings downtown and what we thought are the coolest spots. This is not a paid endorsement. The experiment actually turned into a sort of grand tour of Tulsa. I saw the city more deeply than I had ever before, and in the most unexpected ways. Places that I have grown up driving by and taking for granted suddenly became a sort of novelty in a way. It also gave me good reason to visit places I may have never returned to otherwise, and I began to realize how much I actually miss home now that I am away so often for school and other things. I should probably note that the original Penguin Club was not just us three. We got to see some of our friends before they left for school. Of all the obscure places we could have chosen, we even went to the outsider's house.
The Outsiders.
But they made that movie here in Tulsa in the 1980s, and it made a bunch of guys like Tom Cruise and Patrick Swayze and Rob Lowe famous. The house still sits in the hood, and we kind of had to go on a search to find it. I guess it's a sort of Tulsa legend, but I read the book in 7th grade, and I still don't like it. I don't really like the movie either. Sorry, Tulsa.
Up it right on. BAM!
Anyway, as the week progressed, our stops became increasingly nostalgic, at least for me, such as the hospital I was born in, or my high school, or even the neighborhood I was raised in. So sorry if I dragged you guys around my life there for a bit, but I'd say the week was otherwise quite adventurous and random. Somewhere along the way, AJ scaled the side of a shopping mall, and we also held our own vigil on the former side of a fast food joint that was blown away by a tornado last summer, which is perhaps the most Oklahoma thing that I've ever heard. It was a beautiful service, though.
About 15 months ago, tragedy struck, and an F-something tornado rolled through Midtown Tulsa, destroying all in its wake, such as that unknown building and the site on which we stand, a Whataburger. It truly is a vestige of the old ways, and I think it's a very moving experience for Tulsans to be able to visit this holy ground. If you want to show that.
It was truly an honor to take part in Whataburger on numerous occasions. This site really has a lot of history to it. You can smell the honey butter tears flowing from people's eyes, and you can still feel the sass of the employees who don't give a shit. So I just like to take a moment of silence for all the people in the world with no swag.
We almost began to dread the final stop as it approached, and we just weren't ready for the week to end. In hindsight, I think this whole odyssey across town was a pretty good summation of our friendship. Our so-called Penguin Club has always been drawn to finding adventure in the most unlikely situations, and I think that's really what this whole week was about for us. And speaking of penguins, we saved perhaps the most important side of them all for last.
It's really busy.
We finally went to the club's namesake, a random penguin sculpture we found in a parking lot across town, and met up with our friends and fellow club members Connor and Charlotte, who also brought along her pet snake Monty. It's not as creepy as it sounds, I promise. In fact, I'd consider the snake a pretty valuable member of the club himself. Anyway, with our bucket list complete, we proceeded, with Charlotte, to Dallas for a soccer match as a sort of grand finale to the week. And when I finally had to say goodbye to Ian and AJ for the long time, it really hit me that summer is almost over, and I may not see them for who knows how long. That's not to say that this week was amazing, or that there is nothing to be excited for in the weeks to come. I'm beginning my sophomore year of college soon, and I most definitely have plenty to look forward to. That's also not to say that the Penguin Club is finished yet. I know it's far from it.